Welcome back, English learners. Today we're diving into a real-life topic: how to explain "you're late" in English. Erica, why is it so important to master these phrases in both professional and casual settings?
Great question. Being late happens to everyone, but the way you explain it can impact how you're perceived. Having the right vocabulary helps you sound polite and responsible, whether you're late to a meeting or a dinner with friends.
Absolutely, and sometimes a simple "sorry I'm late" isn't enough. Listeners, today we'll explore not just useful phrases, but also common excuses people give for being late. Let's start with some typical scenarios like being delayed by traffic or work obligations.
Exactly. For instance, phrases like "I got tied up with a client" or "there was a huge traffic jam" are not only common but also culturally accepted explanations. Knowing when and how to use these will make your English sound much more natural.
And as we transition, we'll break down each excuse and the vocabulary behind it, so you can use them confidently. Ready to dig in?
Let's get started. We'll also highlight which excuses work best in certain situations and why some are more convincing than others.
Let's clarify the phrases you'll hear most often. One is "got tied up." Erica, can you explain what it means and give us some practical examples?
Of course. Got tied up means you became unexpectedly busy with something important. Think of it like being stuck with invisible ropes you can't leave until you finish. For example, "Sorry I'm late, I got tied up at the office."
That's a vivid analogy. Another classic is traffic jam. Can you expand on that term and how it's used in English conversations?
Sure. A traffic jam describes a situation when so many cars are on the road that everything slows or stops. Imagine pouring too many marbles into a funnel, they get stuck. People often say, "There was a huge traffic jam on the highway this morning."
Interesting. And sometimes traffic jams are caused by a pileup. What does that refer to?
A pileup is a major accident where multiple cars crash, often blocking several lanes. It's a chain reaction, one collision leads to another. This is frequently cited as a reason for being very late, especially during rush hour.
Now, let's shift to describing delays as they're happening. Running late is an essential phrase. Erica, how is it used and why is it so common?
Running late is versatile and polite. It means you realize you won't arrive on time, so you notify others. For example, "I'm running late. Please start without me." It's less about the reason and more about keeping people informed.
That's especially important in business. Another phrase is "my meeting ran over." How does this differ from running late?
When you say "my meeting ran over," you're specifying the cause. The previous meeting lasted longer than expected. It's factual and often accepted in corporate environments. Studies show that 37% of meetings in the US run over their scheduled time.
That's a convincing statistic. Is there a difference between how these phrases are received in formal and informal contexts?
Yes. In formal settings, giving a concrete reason like "my meeting ran over" shows respect for others' time. In informal situations, running late is usually enough, since friends may be more forgiving.
Let's broaden our focus. How do attitudes toward punctuality differ around the world? I know, for example, that expectations vary greatly between North America and Latin America.
Definitely. In countries like Germany or the US, punctuality is highly valued. Being even a minute late can be frowned upon. In contrast, places like many parts of Latin America or the Mediterranean often treat time more flexibly. Meetings may start later than scheduled.
That flexibility can surprise newcomers. For instance, in Canada, being at a dinner party 5 minutes late is normal, but in Germany, you're expected to arrive exactly on time. Conversely, in Latin America, the actual start time is often much later than announced.
Exactly. A 2019 survey found that 72% of Germans considered tardiness unprofessional, while only 44% of Brazilians agreed. So, understanding local customs is crucial. What's acceptable in one place might seem rude in another.
So, when using these English phrases, learners should also be aware of cultural expectations around punctuality. That way, you can adapt your apologies and explanations to fit the social context.
Absolutely. And if you're unsure, it's always safer to aim for punctuality and communicate proactively if you're delayed.